People are misled because of my hairstyle. People think that I have changed in hairstyle. No, sir.
Co-supervisor for Dr. Dean Singh. Yes, sir. And Dr. Harikaran, yes, sir. Dr. Singh Lede. And he is our S Babu. He is our father. So Dr. Pradeep Mandureka. Sir, you sit in a minute. Yes, sir. No, not a problem, sir. So one now, okay, sir. No, I think I just say about it. Sir, Dr. Ratsa, very good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
We are missing you, sir. We thought that, we would have a pleasure of having you in person.
If you are standing on Monday,
Yeah, so somewhere, there was, a little bit of clash and some schedules here.
next time, maybe.
Yeah, next time definitely, I think,
And I am looking forward to my visit to your university.
Yeah, Gerald, I think, we'll work out something into that.
Sure.
So,
Thank you very much.
yeah, just to introduce, sir, to my left is Dr. K.K. Bhagat.
Good morning.
Yeah, no, he is
Good morning. How are you?
he's the co-supervisor. And then where is Dr. Sweet? Dr. Sweet, I think you come to the place. So Dr. Sweet is your supervisor. Most important. Yeah. And to my right is Dr. Pradeep Mandureka.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how are you?
Yeah,
Fine, sir.
he's a senior professor, in Viva-Voce, University in Mumbai.
I know it.
Yeah. So Dr. Ratsa, yes, he's a distinguished, administrator as well as academician. Should I say that, sir?
Currently, Dean and Professor International Management
He's from
Institute.
IMI. उसके पहले in fact he was also very he was administrator also before becoming a renowned academician. So he has been associated with us for a long time, and he is one of our well-wishers. Should we say that, sir? That's all? Yeah, sir. And likewise, to my extreme right is Dr. Harikaran. He is our executive professor, and earlier he worked as general manager in SAFE. And and also he was been into the academics and training. Same, they have a management training institute. So there,
I was external facing ratio steel and director in sales.
So
I
go.
worked at NPI.
Yes. We were meeting over there and we were in.
Yes, we met in NPI. Yes.
Very good, sir. I think nice to have you with us. And then of course we have got some of the faculty members. We can come to the center. We will be fully that.
Hi to everybody.
Yeah. So with your permission, can we start, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm waiting.
Yeah. So in fact, the format, what we have been doing for our Viva-Voce presentations has been that the scholar will give a presentation for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, and it is followed by the questions, or the, this thing, anything, from both the external evaluators. So they vote on you yourself will have to play navigator. So you are the people entitled to asking the questions. And when you tell us that the evaluation is over, then it is open to our, the rest of our, the participants that are sitting here. I think that is the format.
That's it.
Yeah. You think I'm not getting it, I think yeah. Sir, with a few words, can we just go ahead, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, Mr. Babu, sir, please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody.
Right.
Sir, Mr. Babu, in fact, my request to you is, sort of speak aloud, don't get worried at all.
No.
Sir, in fact, for the benefit of all of you, I would like to mention that right now it has gone on a live YouTube. Lot of proceedings that are there, that is being viewed by a lot of people across the country. Because it's an open Viva-Voce, and earlier we used to say that people have to come in person for the open Viva-Voce. So now it is physically open. So with the result, this is something we have thrown open to our the PhD scholars and post supervisors, wherever they are in the country and other states.
Very excellent.
Yeah, so I think this is what I am practicing. In fact, the work that has happened on 19th. So it was usually this short notice, a lot of people across the country. I appreciate it. So with this, we'll go ahead. So Mr. Babu, please go ahead. Yeah.
Good morning to all. The topic of research is analysis of impact of corporate social responsibility initiatives of Indian coal mining industry and society with a special reference to Korba Coalfield Subjectives Guide. This research study done under supervision of my guide, Dr. Sukanta Chandra Singh, by
It is possible to focus the camera on him and the presenter.
my co-guide, Dr. Kumar,
No, just say something.
HASS branch chief and
Powered by the something.
this is the flow of organization.
Yeah, one the big. Because we say aloud, because other programs, YouTube and other capture the audio, yeah, and also for him also because.
This is about me and the motivation for our research. I discharged various duties and responsibilities in Western Coalfields Limited, Central Coalfields Limited, Southeastern Coalfields Limited of Coal India at various levels. I am having varied experience in highly mechanized open cast coal mining with expertise in project execution, land acquisition, forest land erosion, environment management, coal production, etc. At present, I am working as General Manager Operation in Sunda area of Southeastern Coalfields Limited. My motivation for PhD, having intense inclination to learn and contribute to academic and research work, insisted me to go for research. For this topic, in the coal mining industry, we used to confront various social conflicts due to discontentment of the stakeholders, especially landowners and project affected people. So being a mining professional, I wanted to take up research work on corporate social responsibility to understand and contribute to the industry to resolve social issues. Research journey started from June 2012. These are the milestones achieved during the past 4 years.
Okay, just give a second. Sir, yesterday we were discussing, in fact, we had a lot of discussion with Dr. Pradeep Mandrekar. So he felt that this is a very, very important slide for the benefit of Dr. Singh and also Dr. Srin also. That he was mentioning that in Maharashtra, if somebody were to be appointed for professor or the principal position, if somebody says that he has done PhD, ideally they insist and ask for their details, saying that, when was your coursework done? And what is the grade of assessment that you got in the coursework? When did you register for the topic? Then after that, what are the milestones that you have done? And what are the articles that you have presented? All of them, I understand that, they expect a documented. And it seems that, whenever somebody produces, sort of the CD, along with that, I believe they insist that a one page, a document that is certified by the university, I believe is essential. So in fact, after listening to him, I thought that, we should make it as a part of our process from now on. I think this kind of, along with the PhD kind of, degree what we gave, sort of, he was suggesting that we should give a one page, of this kind of a journey into that. So I think, is that all right with you, sir?
Yes, and the thing is that whatever research papers we have not mentioned yet, but then for this university say whatever the research papers you may have submitted and whatever conferences you may have attended, that also has to be mentioned. And whether
Part of the presentation,
Yeah, part of the agenda
and also, in fact,
Sir, in the agenda,
yes, and how to work in future,
Yes.
sir wants that one page thing,
the one page thing summary, in fact, from now, I think that the student will make it mandatory, that one page format must be there right in the beginning. Because that's a prerequisite, for, the conducting of the Viva-Voce. So I think that is something we can insist, and in fact, in this folder, like in fact, as a student, we can, tell our people, otherwise they cannot get open right now. So these are the other copies.
Yeah.
So
Two
please
are
watch.
required, minimum 2 years
Yes.
follows.
Yeah.
2 years.
Please watch. Yeah.
for achieving economic growth at the rate of around 8% in our country, energy needs are to be met in a sustainable manner. Indian energy matrix, coal plays a dominant role, being a primary energy resource, which contributes about 52% to the total energy requirement in our country. In order to achieve and meet energy security, coal production is to be augmented. So in order to increase the production, many new open cast or underground coal mining projects are to be opened, or existing coal mining projects have to be expanded to achieve the required coal production to meet the energy security. So ultimately, for the augmenting production, for opening up new projects, for expanding the existing projects, we need land. So land is a major input resource for coal mining. Land acquisition is a burning problem in our country. Ultimately, this is a sensitive and sentimental to the landowners. So this is to be dealt the sensitivity by coal companies by extending all socio-economic services with promptness and seriousness according to the legal provisions and policies of the government. Therefore, corporate social responsibility to be discharged by companies becomes very significant in addition to the endeavor of government, NGOs, and other social organizations. The impact of CSR is to be assessed properly for knowing whether CSR initiatives are influencing target beneficiaries, that is villages. So this area requires associated research for impact assessment study. The only way out left is develop social bonding, social connectivity with all the stakeholders through CSR initiatives. Corporate social responsibility is a company's commitment to its stakeholders to conduct business in an economically, socially, environmentally sustainable manner that is transparent and ethical. The impact of mining operations is not usually acceptable to the local residents, communities in particular, and the entire society in general. Even if mining industry takes care of local communities and society with their community development social projects, it appears to them that mining industry is playing devil-may-care attitude to the impacts of its operations. In order to inculcate confidence among the stakeholders, confidence building measures are to be taken up through CSR projects to top priority to focus on community requirements and also to have impact in economic, social, and environmental aspects. Of course, the effectiveness of CSR initiatives of mining companies is a question mark. Now, due to mandatory CSR under Companies Act 2013 and also due to global approach towards CSR projects, their implementation by various multinational companies, other public sector companies, the coal companies also have remodeled themselves for planning and implementing CSR initiatives in a big way to cause huge positive impact on local communities and society. Southeastern Coalfields Limited is a subsidiary company of Coal India Limited, has been committed to social sustainable development and inclusive growth in the adjacent villages of coal mining projects through various CSR projects, implementing across 7 districts of Chhattisgarh and 3 districts of Madhya Pradesh to bridge rural-urban gap. CSR projects of SCCL are categorized under 5 types, namely Project Bunyan, Project Arman, Project Swasthigram, Project Vasundhara, Project Swavanam. Project Bunyan deals with community infrastructure, Project Arman deals with education, Project Swasthigram deals with health initiatives, Project Vasundhara deals with environmental issues, Project Swavanam deals with skill development issues. This study is compared only to Project Bunyan, that is village infrastructure, and Project Swasthigram, health initiatives. The total research papers reviewed are 142, thesis reviewed are 4. There are 25 relevant research papers which are relevant to the topic. I have considered 6 research papers in this presentation. In the research paper of Kemp, Owen, Gozman and Bond on just relations and company-community conflict in mining, Journal of Business Ethics, the key points are grievance handling procedures in the context of company-community conflict at 6 coal mining units. None of the 6 coal mining units encourage collaborative design of grievance mechanisms. The research gap found is, since the study initiates the concept of grievance handling procedures, it indicates that there is mismatch of services provided, services required. But the same has not been under the purview of the said research. Unless until we analyze the real impact of service provided, one cannot think of upgrading the service. And the same can be done if proper dialogue takes place between the host and beneficiaries. The linkage to this study is hinted to go for analyzing the impact of CSR initiatives of the coal company on the nearby villages of former coal fields. Insisted to go for having an objective of knowing whether there is any mismatch of services provided and services required. However, there is a different. This is different from what actually need analysis means, which is done before going for any initiative. But here, the study will be on post implementation of any initiative for future implementation. The literature of Agarwal on impact of corporate social responsibility based on Journal of Research in Business Economics and Management. The key point is the corporate social responsibility of the company should extend contribution towards upliftment of disadvantaged and marginalized project affected people, which makes positive impact upon customers. The gap found is the study hovers around only the normative aspect of extending CSR activities for betterment of project affected people without considering the positive aspect. The linkage to this study is gave direction to focus on what should be done or what ought to be, instead to concentrate on what is happening in reality. The research paper of Jenkins on corporate social responsibility and mining industry, conflicts and constructs. The key point is mining activity being site-specific due to natural availability of mineral resources, community concerns, community interest, and community well-being have to be truly covered as most important part of the business strategy to fulfill company's interest. Gap is, while community well-being is focused, it has been taken as a strategy to fulfill company's interest. Linkage to this study got the idea not to view CSR initiatives from company's interest point of view, rather from the point of view of the community's interest. The paper of Kepor, Gaines, Goddard on what do indigenous communities think of the CSR practice of mining companies. The key point is community in western province of Papua New Guinea views the social responsibility initiatives of OKTD Mining Limited as some members of the community are satisfied with the company's efforts at macro level. Many have reservations about the effectiveness programs at micro level on the village and family level. The research we have found is, although at micro level company CSR initiatives are appreciated, there is a disconnect at the micro level. The linkage to this study is insisted to go focused on micro level, individual beneficiary level. The literature of Zemi and Betan on Malawian mining industry, a stakeholder perspective, corporate social responsibility and environmental management. The key point, the study of CSR agenda of Millennium Mine in Paladin, a subsidiary of Australian multinational company, suggests that CSR agenda in the mining industry in Malawi is strongly influenced by externally generated pressures such as civil society organization activism and community expectations. The gap found is, while community expectations have been taken into account, whether these expectations are met or not is not in the scope. The linkage is motivated to go for impact analysis. The research paper of Vice on bridging CSR and social impact assessment. The key points are highlight the three potential bridging points that have been identified in the relationship between corporate social responsibility and social impact assessment, which are policy practice gap, formal versus informal regulation, internal versus independent implementation. The gap is, while the study pinpoints gap, if any, between policy prescription and practice related, does not look into the gap between intended and realized benefits of CSR initiatives. The linkage to this study is pave the way to find the gap between intended and realized benefits of CSR initiatives through intensive analysis of impact of CSR initiatives. The problem statement. There is a big possibility of perceiving the concept of CSR activities in a wrong way, moving to traditional and rigid mindset of the projected beneficiaries. At the same time, because of some additional expenses of business houses for CSR activities and being unaware of the exact benefits accrued to both the parties, very often business houses do CSR activities just for the duty sake, keeping their wholehearted involvement aside from the project. There should be proper assessment of the impact of CSR activities on the society as a whole, which requires impact assessment study. In turn, helps to strengthen the social bonding between coal producing company and adjacent communities, village. Had the projected benefits been assessed properly, probably every business house would have preferred to adopt CSR activities as strategy for their growth and development. Arch for impact analysis is visible. Thus, there is gap between what benefits CSR activities bring forth and what hosts perceive on it, or what the beneficiaries intend to have. There is an urge for gap analysis. Sometimes there may be mismatch of CSR initiatives needed by project beneficiaries and initiatives promoted by the company. There is an urge for need analysis. Research gap. While the hosts of CSR initiatives usually go for need analysis before the launch of any CSR initiative, they don't go for impact analysis. While existing literature reveals a lot about the impact of CSR initiatives on organizational performance, impact of CSR initiatives on society has been a focus from research attention. CSR initiative-wise, intense impact analysis has not been taken up intensely by the researchers so far. Impact of CSR initiatives of coal company in Korba coalfields of Chhattisgarh on villages living has not been considered by the researchers. The research and gap analysis can be, and the same for coal company in Korba coalfields is beyond the purview of the researchers. This is the flow chart of research design. 18 existing literatures have been studied to identify research problem through initial literature survey. After identifying the topic of research, that is analysis of impact of corporate social responsibility initiatives of Indian coal mining industry and society, with special reference to Korba coalfields of Chhattisgarh, India. Setting the objectives and scope. Scope confined to 2 CSR initiatives, village infrastructure and health initiatives. Objectives are impact analysis, gap analysis, mapping of available facilities to required facilities, strategies to improve the impact. Developing hypothesis. Village infrastructure and health facilities have not made villages' lives more comfortable. Demographic profiles of the villages do not influence appropriation of benefits from village infrastructure and health. There is no gap between intended benefits and realized benefits. Designing methodology. In the universe of 50 villages situated in and around coal mining projects, Kuskunda, Gevra, Jitka, these are the names of the coal mining projects are listed here, consisting of about 4,000 families. For interview, sample size consider 63 respondents for pilot survey, 500 respondents for main survey, 17 management representatives. For focus group discussion, 10 management representatives and 10 village heads. Sampling, it's a blend of non-random, judgmental and simple random. Statistical techniques, one-way ANOVA, multiple regression and discrimination statistics. 128 existing literatures have been studied as extended literature survey for strengthening concepts and designing questionnaire. After designing the questionnaire, conducting pilot survey for standardizing questionnaire for main study, conducting main study, tabulating, editing and analyzing data, conducting focus group discussion, presenting research findings and cases. The objectives of this study are to assess the impact of corporate social responsibility activities of village infrastructure and health on communities in and around Korba coalfields of Chhattisgarh, To find the gap, if any, between real benefits and intended benefits felt by beneficiaries from the CSR initiatives and reasons for so. To find the gap, if any, between real benefits appropriated by the beneficiaries and the perception of the host company regarding benefits to be appropriated by the beneficiaries from the CSR initiatives and reasons for so. Mapping available facilities under CSR initiatives of village infrastructure and health to required ones through usage in order to avoid mismatch, if any. To devise the strategies for improving positive impact of CSR initiatives on society and averaging the gap so emerge, if any, between the real benefits and the intended benefits of the CSR initiatives. Scope of the research is confined to two CSR initiatives: village infrastructure facilities and health facilities. The host of the CSR initiatives, coal company, that is Southeastern Coal Limited in Korba Coal Research Institute. Respondents are project affected villages of Kusmura, Geva, Dika, for many projects of Korba Coal Research Institute. To assess overall impact of village infrastructure initiatives, hypotheses are developed. Null hypothesis is village infrastructure facilities have not made the villagers' lives more comfortable. Alternative hypothesis: village infrastructure facilities have made the villagers' lives more comfortable. Impact of demographic profile. Demographic profiles, in order to know whether impact of village infrastructure initiatives are varying with the variation of demographic profiles, also we have studied. Accordingly, hypotheses are developed. Null hypothesis for impact of age group demographic profile. There is no significant difference among different age groups concerning the impact of infrastructure facilities in making villagers' lives more comfortable. Alternative hypothesis is there is significant difference among different age groups concerning the impact of infrastructure facilities in making villagers' lives more comfortable. For education, null hypothesis is educational qualification does not matter in appropriating and getting benefited from infrastructure facilities provided by the coal company, leading to villagers' lives more comfortable. Alternative hypothesis is educational qualification does matter in appropriating and getting benefited from the infrastructure facilities provided by the coal company, leading to villagers' lives more comfortable. For occupation, null hypothesis is there is no significant difference among different occupational villages in appropriating and getting benefited from the infrastructure facilities, making their lives more comfortable. Alternative hypothesis is there is significant difference among different occupational villages in appropriating and getting benefited from the infrastructure facilities, making their lives more comfortable. For income level, null hypothesis is there is no significant difference among different income levels concerning their influence on the impact of infrastructure facilities, making villagers' lives more comfortable. Alternative hypothesis is there is significant difference among different income levels concerning their influence on the impact of infrastructure facilities, making villagers' lives more comfortable. For health initiatives, the overall impact null hypothesis is health services provided by coal company have not made villagers' lives more efficient in the form of performance and earning savings and cheerfulness. Alternative hypothesis is health services provided by coal company have made villagers' lives more efficient in the form of performance in earnings and savings and cheerfulness. For health impact of age group demographic profile, age group does not matter in appropriating and getting benefited from the services provided by the coal company, leading to improved performance in earning, savings, and cheerfulness. Now, alternative hypothesis is age group does matter in appropriating and getting benefited from the services provided by the coal company, leading to improved performance in earning, savings, and cheerfulness. For education, education qualification does not matter in appropriating and getting benefited from the health-related services provided by the coal company, leading to improvement in the efficiency in the form of performance of villages and earning, savings, and cheerfulness. Alternative hypothesis is education qualification does matter in appropriating and getting benefited from the health-related services provided by coal company, leading to improvement in the efficiency in the form of performance of villages in earning, savings, and cheerfulness. For occupation, null hypothesis, occupation of villagers does not influence whether health services provided by coal company have reflected in the efficiency of any family in the form of performance in earnings and savings and cheerfulness. Alternative hypothesis, occupational villagers does influence whether health services provided by coal company have been reflected in the efficiency of any family in the form of performance in earnings, savings, and cheerfulness. For income level, null hypothesis is Income level of villagers does not influence whether health services provided by coal company have been reflected in the efficiency of any family in the form of performance in earnings, savings, and cheerfulness. Alternative hypothesis is income level of villagers does influence whether health services provided by the coal company have been reflected in the efficiency of any family in the form of performance in earnings, savings, and cheerfulness. Pertaining to gap, the first one is related to villagers' perspective, the second one is related to management perspective. Null hypothesis for villagers' perspective. There is no gap between real benefits and intended benefits felt by the beneficiaries from the CSR initiative. Alternative hypothesis, there is gap between real benefits and the intended benefits felt by the beneficiaries from CSR initiative. Null hypothesis for management perspective. There is no gap between the real benefits appropriated by the beneficiaries and the perception of the host regarding benefits to be appropriated by the beneficiaries from CSR initiatives. Alternative hypothesis, there is gap between the real benefits appropriated by the beneficiaries and the perception of the host regarding benefits to be appropriated by the beneficiaries from the CSR initiatives. Pertaining to matching of initiatives. Null hypothesis is there is mismatch of CSR initiatives needed by the projected beneficiaries and the initiatives provided by the company. Alternative hypothesis, there is no mismatch of CSR initiatives needed by the projected beneficiaries and the initiatives provided by the company. Hypothesis for representatives of the coal company in respect of village infrastructure. Null hypothesis is managerial personnel perceive that village infrastructure facilities have not made the villagers' lives more comfortable. Alternative hypothesis is managerial personnel perceive that village infrastructure facilities have made the villagers' lives more comfortable. For health initiatives, managers' perception health facilities have not made the villagers' lives more comfortable. Alternative hypothesis, managers' perception health facilities have made the villagers' lives more comfortable. In the research methodology, the study is blend of descriptive and empirical one. Secondary data collected from websites of the companies which have been helpful in understanding and describing the current status of discharging of corporate social responsibility by coal mining industry. Primary data are collected through direct personal interview, filling out the structured questionnaire schedules by the local enumerators and observation letter focus group research. Sampling has been followed in order to consider the localities. Judgmental sampling has been used. Selection of sample units has been done on simple random sampling from the list of households, and each sample unit belongs to a distinct household. The sample design, the type of inverse, finite inverse or population size is about 50 villages situated in and around coal mining projects of Kusmunda, Gabra, Dipka, consisting of about 4,000 families. Source list, census list 2011, sample size 500 families, one respondent per family. This is a formula for sample size. For appropriateness of the result, bigger sample size 500 has been taken up. The formula 350 is appropriate. These are certain photographs I have incorporated in my thesis as well to express my gratitude to all the respondents and some of the village heads who had helped me during my data collection. That is why I am incorporated. The research methodology, analysis done, impact analysis, gap analysis, need analysis. By assessing the impact, gap, need, and quantitative techniques that are used are one-way ANOVA for establishing an hypothesis, multiple regression for prioritizing variables on the basis of impact, descriptive statistics for mapping of available facilities to usage. Demographic profiles of respondents for the pilot survey. Gender-wise, tahsil-wise, age-wise, educational qualification-wise, occupation-wise, family-wise, these are the profiles. Annual income-wise as well. Pilot findings for village infrastructure, satisfaction level of the respondents on village infrastructure facilities. The observation found is 60% of the respondents are not feeling that infrastructure facilities provided by the coal company in Gorba coalfields are better their way of living. However, around 30% respondents are agreeing that they have found an improvement in their standard of living by virtue of the infrastructure facilities provided by the coal companies. Pilot finding for health initiatives, satisfaction level of the respondents on health facilities. 70% respondents are not feeling that the facilities provided by the coal company in those coalfields have bettered their way of living. However, around 25% of the respondents are agreeing that they have found an improvement in their health condition by virtue of the health facilities provided by the coal. Reliability statistics, Combax alpha value was used for testing the factors for internal reliability. Combax alpha is 0.683. The variables incorporated in the questionnaire are valid and reliable. From the pilot survey, during the pilot survey, we have observed that certain respondents wanted to express more about the feedback. So then we thought to incorporate certain open-ended questions to capture their views. So accordingly, we have incorporated these open-ended questions in the questionnaire. What the open-ended questions related to village infrastructure? What are the suggestions you would like to give for better quality of these facilities? What are the suggestions you would like to give for better utilization of these facilities? What are the suggestions you would like to give for better maintenance of these facilities? How do you feel about the coal company which has provided this facility under CSR? Do you have any other idea in your mind for implementing CSR initiatives in your village? These 5 are related to village infrastructure. The rest 2 are related to health initiative. Give suggestions regarding frequency of visit of the doctor, coverage of diseases, quality of service for improving medical services extended by the coal company in your village. What are the difficulties faced by you while taking medical help from the doctor of coal company when he visits your village? This is in the main study impact analysis. The demographic profiles of the total 500 respondents is given here. From the output sheet regarding hypothesis, overall impact, village infrastructure facilities have not made the villages' lives more comfortable. Since P value is less than the level of significance, null hypothesis is rejected. Village infrastructure facilities have made villages' lives more comfortable. This has been established and proved that there is a positive impact on the villages due to village infrastructure initiatives. Impact of demographic profile age group. Null hypothesis is accepted. Age group does not significantly impact in appropriating and getting benefited from infrastructure facilities, making the facilities like making the families like more comfortable. Similarly, for education, null hypothesis is accepted. The educational qualification does not significantly influence in appropriating the benefits of these infrastructure facilities, making the villages lives more comfortable. Impact of demographic profile of occupation. Null hypothesis is accepted. Occupation of the villages does not significantly influence the impact of the infrastructure facilities, making the villages' lives more comfortable. For income level, null hypothesis is accepted. Income level does not significantly influence the impact of infrastructure facilities in making the villages' lives more comfortable. From all the impacts of demographic profiles, it has been revealed that all the sections of the society are appropriating the benefits derived from the village infrastructure facilities provided by the coal company. Prioritization of factors related to infrastructure facilities, those impact villages' lives. 6 predictor variables. Variable 1 is the facilities provided as mentioned above are exactly in line with my requirements. Facilities meeting needs. Variable 2, I along with my family members do not have any difficulty in using these facilities. Accessibility. Variable 3, the quality of facilities catered by coal company is excellent. Quality of facilities. Variable 4, these facilities have been helping my family to easily face the emergency and maintain a sanitary living. Facilities meeting emergency. Variable 5, the timely and satisfactory maintenance of this infra facility done by the village group committee has been helping us to make use of the same without interruption and uninterrupted usage. Variable 6, options of any facilities provided would have been proved to be costly affair for me to maintain the present standard of living, reduction in cost of living. On the basis of degree of positive influence, accessibility is more impacting on the villages, followed by reduction in cost of living, uninterrupted usage, facilities meeting needs, facilities meeting emergency. In the case of health facilities, the overall impact hypothesis is null hypothesis. Health services provided by the coal company have not made the villagers' lives more efficient in the form of performance in having savings and cheerfulness. P value is less than level of significance. Null hypothesis is rejected. Health services provided by the core company have made the villagers' lives more efficient in the form of performance in earning, savings, and cheerfulness. It is proved that health initiatives impacted positively on the villagers' living. Similarly, impact of demographic profile with respect to age group, null hypothesis is not accepted. Age group significantly impacts in appropriating and getting benefited from the health-related facilities provided by core company, leading to the efficiency of any family in the form of performance in earning, savings, and achievements. With regard to education, null hypothesis is not accepted. Appropriating and getting benefited from health-related services provided by the core company, leading to improvement in the efficiency in the form of performance of villagers in earning, savings, achievements. Significantly varies with the varied education group. Occupation. The null hypothesis is accepted. Occupation of villagers does not significantly influence the impact of health-related based services in improving efficiency of villagers in the form of performance in earning, savings, and cheerfulness. In the case of income level, null hypothesis is not accepted. The income level significantly increases in appropriating the positive impact of health-related facilities provided by the core company. So, from the testing, it is revealed that some sections of the society are appropriating, some are not appropriating the health initiatives, like age group. Due to young people, they may not be appropriating health facilities which are available freely at the doorstep in the villages. Some educated people are also not appropriating. Some high income group also not appropriating the medical facilities. Whereas occupation, irrespective of the occupation, there are farmers, service, businessmen, household, everybody are appropriating the services provided by the people. Prioritization of factors related to health facilities. 6 predictor variables. Variable 1, I along with my family get free medical treatment properly from a doctor and his staff of core company when they visit our village. Accessibility. Variable 2, all health related problems of my family have been treated by the doctor. He and his staff, since they have services provided by the company. Facilities meeting needs. Variable 3, frequency of visit of the doctor and staff has not been a problem, as we have been getting their help as per our requirement. Frequency of visit of doctors and staff. Variable 4, referring government or private hospitals for any disease has been tremendously reduced because of health services provided by core company, reduction in traveling expenses. Week 5, core company conducts health awareness education camps in our village at regular intervals. Frequency of health awareness education camps. Variable 6, medical expenses for my family has been reasonably slashed since the health services provided by the core company. Reduction in medical expenses. On the basis of degree of influence, reduction in medical services, reduction in medical expenses impacting more on the villagers' lives, followed by frequency of visit of doctors and staff, accessibility, reduction in traveling expenses, facilities needing meeting needs. Mapping of facilities available and usage. From the questionnaire, the facilities with respect to village infrastructure, all community assets have been listed in the questionnaire. There are 15. Similarly, for health initiatives, there are 15 diseases which are being included in the questionnaire. All have been marked by the respondents accordingly as per the frequency table. Some are aware and benefited, some are not aware and not benefited. There is a variation in the awareness among the respondents. So it is important that there is a mismatch of facilities required by the villagers and facilities provided by the core company. However, there is no proper usage of, because facilities are there, are existing, but people are not aware or not being used. Similarly, for certain diseases, medical services are provided, but people are not aware and not being used. So there is no proper usage of facilities, moving mostly to ignorance and to some extent to lack of confidence. To overcome this, core company needs to create awareness of the facilities provided and promote how beneficial these facilities with quality so as to build confidence. In the gap analysis, whether there is gap between perceived beneficial impact of CSR initiatives, village infrastructure and the facility, and real impact of these facilities. Perceived comparison, intended benefits of the villagers and the real benefits from the village infrastructure and facilities the villagers are getting. Projected benefits of the villagers pursued by the coal company and real benefits from the village infrastructure and the facilities the villagers are getting. As the host of CSR initiatives, coal company expects and perceives a level of benefit that villagers must be appropriating from the CSR initiatives provided by the company. In reality, the villagers may be getting the same level of benefit as expected by the company, or more or less than that. So, if there is any gap between benefits enjoyed by the villagers from the CSR initiatives and company's expectation regarding benefit to the villagers through CSR initiatives. For knowing the company's expectation, 17 company representatives at managerial level dealing with different projects of CSR are taken as respondents, and their responses have been captured by a questionnaire. Analysis and interpretation of company representatives data. There are similar variables. There are 8 variables. The output of hypothesis test also proved that null hypothesis is rejected. As per the perception of management representatives, village infrastructure facilities have made the villagers' lives more comfortable, leading to good efficiency. As per the prioritization of variables of impact of infra, there are 3 variables which are impacting more. Management representatives consider quality of facilities as more, number 1, followed by efficiency booster, then accessibility. Similarly, for health initiatives, there are 8 independent variables have been considered. The same hypothesis test is being done. Null hypothesis is rejected. Managers perceive that health initiative facilities have made the villagers' life more comfortable, and from the SPSS output regarding prioritization of variables, reduction in medical expenses is impacting more on the villagers' lives, followed by reduction in traveling expenses, then positive impact of health awareness education camps, lastly accessibility. Comparison of decision on establishing hypothesis, villages versus vis-a-vis the coal company. Null hypothesis for overall village infrastructure. Village infrastructure facilities have not made the villagers living more comfortable. Decision from villagers perspective, it is rejected. Decision from management perspective, it is also rejected. So there is no gap between perception of coal company and the benefits realized by the villagers. Similarly, for health facilities, null hypothesis indicates that health facilities have not made villagers' lives more efficient in the form of earning, savings, and cheerfulness. Decision from villagers' perspective rejected. Decision from coal company representative rejected. So there is no gap between perception of coal company and benefits realized by the villagers. It is found that at overall level there is no gap between real benefits of the villagers are getting from the CSR initiatives and benefits that coal company perceives that villagers should have got from these CSR initiatives. Comparison concerning prioritization of variables concerning their impact on villagers' living standard and health condition. With regard to village infrastructure, prioritized variables by the villagers' accessibility. With regard prioritized variables by the management representatives' quality of facilities. However, accessibility is common in both the prioritized list. Regarding health, reduction in medical expenses, topping the list. Similarly, accessibility is there in the both priority list. It is inferred that on village infrastructure, while the host rates the quality of services most, the same is not there in the priority list of beneficiaries. It is clear that targeted beneficiaries are not satisfied with the quality of services, or they are not aware of the quality the services inherit. However, there is proper match in perception and realization of accessing the facilities, as the accessibility has been placed in both the priority lists. Similarly, on health-related facilities, while reduction in medical expenses of the villagers has been placed on the top of the both lists, positive impact of health awareness education camps has not been there in the villagers list, which is very positively thought of and pursued by the court. Villagers' responses on mitigating gap. These are the certain views captured through open-ended questions. Responses on village infrastructure facilities. Company officials should hold meeting with villagers before implementing CSR works for considering quality of works, Major tangible and long-term CSR projects may be implemented for sustainable use. Company should hand over the community asset to Gram Panchayat for its sustainable maintenance and gainful utilization. Most of the villagers were having negative opinion about the planning and execution of works under CSR initiatives. Hazard due to blasting and air pollution should be taken care of by the company. Mine water may be discharged to ponds of nearby villages if possible for their use. Maintenance may be taken up in case of certain CSR works like drinking water facility, tube wells, pumps, pipelines, water tanks, etc. Responses on health facilities. Frequency of conducting medical camps should be at least once a week in every project affected village. Prior intimation about the medical camps to be given to villagers for having maximum benefits. Strategies to improve the impact of CSR initiatives on the basis of findings of the quantitative research as initiated in the substantiated by the qualitative research outcome. Output of two focus group discussions. The following strategies have been devised. A separate cell with a dedicated team should be developed for extending dedicated services under CSR initiatives. Single window approach should be adopted for redressal of social grievances of project affected villages. CSR interventions for project affected villages have to be discovered after examining state and central government schemes by working in collaboration with district administration, civil society organizations, NGOs, political bodies, and focus groups. District administration, local leaders, sarpanch village heads should be taken into confidence while implementing schemes or projects under CSR fund for fulfilling the needs of project affected people. This CSR fund should be exclusively used for socio-economic development of nearby villages. CSR fund should be exclusively spent for providing promising services and proactive support to poor and needy villages on consistent basis. There must be seamless communication with project affected villages through direct face-to-face communication or through village meetings or through CSR cell or control room or through local television or through social media for listening to the voices of people living around the villages, around the company, which helps in getting right feedback, which will further help in initiating corrective action by the management for constant and consistent improvement in delivering support and help under CSR initiatives. This kind of proactive and constructive approach will develop a real social connectivity with the nearby communities, in particular, and the society at large. In the present system of implementation of CSR initiatives, coal company constructs community infrastructure or village infrastructure and hand over the infrastructure to the village heads or village committee through district administration, that is through Gram Panchayat, which is seen as build transfer method. But if the system is changed to build, operate, maintain, and transfer method, for example, if a village is provided with water supply arrangement through overhead tank, borewell, pipelines, etc., it should be operated and maintained for at least 5 to 6 years. Then transfer such facility to village committee through district administration will fetch better results because the beneficiaries have been provided services continuously and consistently under build, operate, maintain, transfer method, which creates a solid faith on the system provided by the government. In the area of health facilities under CSR initiatives, this program should not be an eyewash because the project affected people should be provided with medical cards or health cards for entire family. The CSR clinic or CSR ambulance or doctor on call facility should be provided to nearby project affected villages. 24/7 control room telephone number or mobile app which will send a strong I am with you feeling and confidence among villagers and beneficiaries. In order to address the matters related to pollution caused due to mining operations in the coal mining project, the company should go for best mining technologies which prevents or mitigates land pollution if occurs due to blasting, extracting, and dumping of materials, air pollution if occurs due to loading, transporting, and unloading operation, and water pollution occurs due to contaminating adjacent nalas, rivers, if mixed with untreated mine discharge water. Although environment management plan of coal mines implemented in later speed with the help of advanced technologies for preventing mitigating pollution to land, water, air, but it requires constant and consistent operation and upgradation. The mining methods processes speak volumes about how companies taking care of their existing business activities, which really will have zero health hazard impact upon not only on its employees but also on nearby villages and local communities in particular and on society at large. The summary of findings vis-a-vis objectives. Objective to assess the impact of corporate social responsibility activities of village infrastructure and health on communities in and around rural fields. The method used One way ANOVA for hypothesis testing, finding village infrastructure facilities and health services have made the villages' lives easy and comfortable. To find the gap, if any, between real benefits and intended benefits felt by the beneficiaries from CSR initiatives and reasons for so, the method adopted multiple regression for prioritization of variables, open responses, participatory observation method, finding although there is no gap pertaining to intended and realized benefits, there is some sort of dissatisfaction relating to sustainability owing to lack of proper maintenance of the facilities provided. To find a gap, if any, between real benefits appropriated by the beneficiaries and the perception of the host regarding benefits to be appropriated by the beneficiaries from the CSR initiatives and reasons for so, the techniques used are one way ANOVA for hypothesis testing, multiple regression for prioritization of variables. Finding is there is no gap between perception of the coal company and benefits realized by the villagers in the context of both village infrastructure and health facilities. Mapping available facilities under CSR initiatives of village infrastructure and health to required usage in order to avoid mismatch. Method adopted is descriptive statistics. Finding is there is no mismatch of facilities required by the villages and facilities provided by the coal company. However, there is no proper usage of facilities owing mostly to ignorance and to some extent to lack of confidence. To overcome this, the coal company needs to create awareness of the facilities provided and promote how beneficial these facilities with quality so as to build confidence. To devise strategies for improving positive impact of CSR initiatives on society and bridging the gaps or must, if any, between the real benefits and intended benefits of the CSR initiative, focus group discussions were used. Strategies are outlined in the previous section. Conclusion on impact of village infrastructure. This research has attempted to unfold whether in community infrastructure provided by the coal company have impacted lives of the rural mass of coal in a positive way. Hypotheses have been established in a positive way. For overall impact, village infrastructure facilities have made villages' life more comfortable. Similarly, the impact of the demographic profiles also impacted in a positive way. Conclusion and impact of health facilities. Health facilities offered by coal company nearby villages of coal subjects that have been proved to be essential and of paramount importance. This research empirically unfolded whether health-related facilities initiated by coal fields have impacted health condition of the targeted villages positively. The hypothesis established in this respect are health services provided by the company have made villages' lives more efficient in the form of performance, learnings, and savings and self-confidence. It is found that although facilities have positive impact on health condition of villages, they need something more and extra in order to avail the benefit in a sustainable way. Conclusion on gap. From villagers' perspective, pertaining to gap, it is found that at overall level there is no gap between real benefits and intended benefits felt by the beneficiaries from the CSR initiatives. However, there is dissatisfaction relating to sustainability of the benefits owing to improper maintenance of the facilities provided. From management representatives' perspective, it is inferred that at overall level there is no gap between real benefits appropriated by the beneficiaries and the perception of the host regarding benefits to be appropriated by the beneficiaries from CSR initiatives. However, the host perception regarding quality was a bit higher than that of reality. From cross-priority perspective, it is inferred that on a village infrastructure, while the host rates the quality of services most, the same is not there in the priority list of beneficiaries. It is clear that targeted beneficiaries are not satisfied with the quality of services or they are not aware of quality the services inherit. However, there is proper match in perception and realization in accessing the facilities as the accessibility has been placed in both priorities. Similarly, on health initiatives, while reduction in medical expenses of the villages has been placed on the top of both the lists, positive impact of health awareness education camps has not been there in the villages list, which is very positively thought of and pursued by the coal. Conclusion on need matching of available facilities to required ones. It is inferred that there is no mismatch of facilities required by the villages and facilities provided by the coal company. However, there is no proper usage of facilities owing mostly to ignorance and to some extent to lack of confidence. To overcome this, coal company needs to create awareness of the facilities provided and promote how beneficial these facilities with quality so as to be. benefits of research finding. On the basis of the findings of the study, the stakeholders involved in CSR initiatives will come to know the real benefits of such initiatives, and hence will be aware of their rights and responsibilities. The findings of this research will not only insist the coal company to focus on educating the villagers about the CSR facilities and their beneficial impacts, but also inculcate among villagers the habit of using the facilities available and inquiring about the duties of facilities. Not only the beneficiaries will be keen to take the advantage of CSR initiatives provided by the coal company, but also the management who feel these initiatives burdensome and tasking may get motivated to adopt such activities as a strategy for their growth. In fact, this study will help in understanding the role of CSR in strengthening the social model. The relevance of this project can be extended to social welfare schemes of government or charity organizations, NGOs, multilateral fund projects. Besides, the coal company will be insisted to focus on quality, since the villagers are not very impressed with the quality of facilities, although they are extremely satisfied with the accessibility. Limitations of this study. This study is confined to only to Korba Coal subsidiaries. It considers only 2 CSR initiatives. Impact analysis, mapping, gap analysis have been done only on the basis of fact. Scope for future research. This research can be seen as a commencement of this journey into better understanding of impact of CSR. This research and impact analysis is mostly based on primary data regarding how the villagers are feeling because of the CSR initiatives. In fact, the responses of the villagers are deciding factors whether there is positive impact of CSR initiatives on villagers living. But the research findings would have been strengthened if the same was substantiated from the secondary data in 2 time frames before the launch of CSR initiatives and after a period of time, about 1 year to 5 years since launch of CSR initiatives, pertaining to certain data related to percentage of people living BPL, incidence and depth of villages, ambience of the village, enrollment ratio in primary, secondary, and higher level education, infant mortality rate, use of modern gadgets by villagers. Unavailability of required secondary data is the limitation of this research, and it offers great scope for future research. Besides, research can also be extended to other CSR initiatives. These are the certain publications of my articles. These are the seminars where I participated. I am grateful to my guide, Dr. Sukan Sundarswamy, and my co-guide, Dr. Kumar Chanan. I am very indebted to our Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Wallace. I am highly indebted to Dr. PMC. I am highly indebted and grateful to Dr. K.K. Khan. I am highly grateful to all the respondents, all village heads, whoever cooperated during the primary data collection. I am highly grateful to the Southeastern Coal Limited that permitted me to pursue this PhD research work. Thank you.
Dr. Ratsa.
Yes, sir, I will listen for last 1 hour.
You got some water. So now it is your turn, sir.
Sir.
Sir, are you able to hear us, sir? Dr. Ratsa?
Yes, I can hear.
Ah, yeah.
That's your problem, but I can hear.
Okay. So we look forward to your queries or questions or anything that you would like to ask.
Anytime, shall I begin or?
Yes, you can go ahead, sir. Yeah, we'll start with you, sir. We'll start. Yes.
Okay. Now, thank you very much, sir, for involving me in this very important assignment. Now, I have gone through the document and I have asked the PPTs, PowerPoint presentations and the submissions. Now, can I ask a few basic questions? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, a very basic question. they will define a stakeholder. They will use the word stakeholder throughout. They will define a stakeholder.
Sir, kindly sir, repeat sir. Repeat.
No, can you define
Using
the
the
stakeholder?
word stakeholders.
Can you define
Can you define a stakeholder?
Sir, stakeholders are those agencies or personnel who are influenced due to the company's activities. Like there are internal stakeholders such as employees, management personnel, external stakeholders, customers, government agencies, society at large, planet as a whole. Yeah, another type of sir. Primary stakeholders also those stakeholders who are having economic influence due to the activities of the company, like shareholders, investors, employees, customers. Secondary stakeholders are those stakeholders who are not having economic influence on the due to company activities, like government agencies, NGOs, society, etc. So stakeholder is one who is being
One elaboration.
sir.
That is a stakeholder is one who is influenced by company. Is it?
Yes sir.
That's all.
Who is being influenced by the company activities,
Activities.
internal, external. Yes sir.
Who is being influenced by company activities.
Yes sir.
Is it?
Yes sir.
Or who can influence company also.
Stakeholders also influence. It is mutual because it is a mutual process.
Yes.
Company is depending on stakeholders. Stakeholders is depending on company as well.
Second part is very important because they can affect company.
Yes sir. Yes.
Okay, one. Two, tell me, why should a company who is supposed to earn profits, why should they spend profits on stakeholders?
Why should the company spend money on the
For the
stakeholders?
profit. For the profits which should go to shareholders. The shareholders are waiting for sharing the profits. You are apportioning it to the stakeholders. What is the justification?
Sir, we are spending on the stakeholders, keeping maximum benefit to the stakeholder values. Because if we give only significance to profit, it won't work. Because we have to consider in a holistic way to take care of all the stakeholders, not only with respect to economic values, with respect to social and environmental values also companies should take care. So according to the overall holistic view, if company proceeds its business activities, ultimately it will resultant positive results.
Okay, can you elaborate that when the company is spending its profits, what is the objective?
Sir, ultimately, when a company is working within the social fabric and environment, it has to consider the interests of the community and society as well, and other stakeholders.
Is it only ethical question?
Sir,
I'm
now,
a poor person, so I could help the poor. Is that so?
sir, we have to strike a balance to run a business. We have to strike a balance between the economic values, social values, and environmental values. If you sacrifice social part and the environmental part, in the long run, just if a company or a industry works for profit, it won't work. And this has been proved in the past several years.
So what about values is an ethical part. When I am a poor person, I want to help the poor, so I am spending money for them.
Sir, just
Is that the objective?
sir, just being a philanthropist, it won't work.
Yes.
Ultimately, we are running a business. Business of business is to earn profits as well. So maximizing the stakeholders' values instead of maximizing shareholder values. That should be the motive of the company.
No, again, same question. What is the motivation? Business or business to do business. So why is that not the case?
Sir, motivation is for having long-term benefits. For having long-term benefits and to also to face the rapidly changing competitive business world.
Okay, so besides your good person, good boy aspect, you also have an economic return on spending money on theatre.
it is like this,
So
sir.
it is not just ethical part, but also return on your investment on society. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's it. So, right. Now, so CSR be voluntary or mandatory?
It is mandatory, sir. Now, since first year,
It is, but around the world, is it mandatory or voluntary?
sir, in India, we are pioneering in mandatory CSR. In the rest of the world, reporting is mandatory in certain countries like Australia, France, Netherlands, Norway, and other countries. Disclosure is mandatory there. In the rest of the world, it is voluntary, sir.
So, what is the limitation of making CSR a law? What are the limitations?
Sir, as far as the CSR law and its deficiencies are concerned, so if you permit
No,
me,
I don't know law deficiencies. I'm not making it law as per se. Suppose you are very voluntary, what is better? Or making it law is better.
sir, in the Indian context, mandatory is good according to my opinion, sir. Because we don't go for social expenses unless until we are forced to do so. So this is the scenario as an artificial citizen. We are being forced to spend money on CSR activities. So this is the law provision.
Okay, so that way by spending 2% for society, you become a responsible society, responsible company.
Sir,
Can you become responsible company just by spending 2%?
sir, it is a small gesture for displaying your social activity to the whole world. Spending 2%, of course, it may be a bigger amount based on the profits of the company, but there is a chance to develop a social connectivity.
Can you spend 2% and still be responsible?
Sir,
Can you spend 2% of your profit or more than that and still be responsible in our business?
Will be irresponsible.
so no, not at all, not at all. We
Even
have,
if you spend 2%,
we,
by
we,
that, you will become responsible
sir,
automatically.
we cannot compensate for our wrongdoings by spending 2%. So this is what I understand.
So that is a law deficiency. That law is a deficiency.
Sir,
By
sir.
spending 2%, you are not become responsible.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
So that is a limited aspect of their money spending.
Yes, sir.
Why you can continue to be responsible?
Yes, sir.
You can still do a lot of wrong things.
Yes, sir. No, we can't do any wrong business activity by spending.
You can.
Yes, sir.
You can't.
We can.
You can spend 2% and still follow reverse. Isn't it? I spent 3%, but I'm following reverse.
Sir,
The spending part of 3% has nothing to do with my pollution.
exactly, sir. You are 100% correct. Spending is a part of the total holistic scenario of the business organization. But spending more and going beyond compliance also is okay. But overall, the picture of the company should be through its activities, through its outlook. We cannot spend and compensate for the disadvantage, and at the same time, if you follow unethical and wrong practices in the business, it won't work, sir.
You can still do both. You can spend 2% and still do unethical practices. You can still do both. I'm spending 2% or 5%, but I'm still irresponsible to society. I can be.
Sir, in our country, we are passing through this era of evolution, sir. It is in transformation stage, and we are moving forward to adopt transparent, ethical, social, and environmental-oriented business practices.
No, simply the law cannot make you responsible.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Law is guiding. Yes.
Okay, tell me, why are the public sector enterprises to which you belong lagging behind many surveys that taken place recently, many surveys? All are showing that PSUs are laggards.
Yes, sir.
Although long time back PSUs were in the forefront of social spending.
Yes, sir.
But PSUs are laggards. Can you comment kilometers of survey like that?
Yes, sir. Because of the certain procedures to be followed in the public sector units. Now, according to the law, all the CSR projects have to be recommended by the CSR committee according to the CSR policy of the respective corporates. And in the process, there is a delay in implementation of the CSR practices. And for tendering and going for all transparent mechanisms, there is huge delay, sir. That is why we are failing to spend required money during the financial year.
But at least society looks for 2%. You are not spending 2% also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are moving forward to spend.
2%. As long as promised by you, you are spending less than 2%.
Yes, sir.
So you are neither socially responsible nor spending 2%.
No, good, sir. Sir, very good insights, Dr. Ram. Sir, any comments with regard to his thesis and his presentation, sir?
Okay.
We would like to listen to
Okay.
that.
Now you have confined your work to some anti-poverty program. Is that so? Anti-poverty program, infrastructure.
Exactly, sir.
Oriented,
Yeah, for upliftment, definitely it is useful. Yes, sir.
beneficiary oriented, infrastructure, real oriented.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
So are you going to substitute government?
No, sir. No. We are supplementing, sir. We are supplementing.
Government is doing similar work. Why are you repeating what government is doing?
Sir, exactly, there are certain gaps within the government schemes, whether it is central government scheme or state government scheme. There are certain welfare schemes which are not being implemented or which are not being extended to the villages which are project affected nearby coal mining projects. So that is why we, as a collaboration with the district administration, take up the CSR projects wherever there are some gaps. We try to fill up those gaps. Arise due to government schemes.
I'm happy to know that you are taking into account the government programs and not wasting money on repeating those government programs. Very, very important. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. In one way, it is true.
Now tell me one thing. You are basically, let's say, mining, people who are supposed to operate mines or run plants or run some, projects. How are you expected to do CSR, which is not your domain?
Sir, being a general manager of the area, being a deemed agent in the Mines Act, we are responsible for entire project activities, sir. So not only production, we take care of all the HR activities. Of course, this is under civil department, HR department, and medical department. Ultimately, all departments are falling under umbrella of area general manager. So, as a area general manager, we take care of the CSR initiatives and implementing
No,
areas.
it is not your main job. You are not an expert in the work of social work.
Sir, at present,
How to understand?
yes, sir, I agree with you.
How to understand what society needs?
Sir, 100%, sir. Sir, now what we are doing for need assessment, we are going for baseline survey by taking help of Tata Institute of Social Sciences, but it is such a big organization. Every organization is after TISS. We are unable to get the total time and money, etc., for implementing, for engaging implementing agencies. Because we have
thinking of having your own CSR specialist.
Sir, we have a whole CSR team consisting of civil, HR, medical, and mining. So these four department executives are there in the CSR cell, CSR team as a team. They go to villages. We conduct several meetings and we understand what is the requirement. But the present practice is based on the sarpanch or village head or some political influence. We get the requirements from the village side, and accordingly we take up the proposals with the district administration to verify and to prevent from duplicacy of the such projects. So then we go for approvals and tendering and.
Okay, in your presentation you told the group that you give something to villagers. They are sometimes not happy, and every year will go and repeat or do something more. Isn't it? You said something like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You were repeating it. You did not say one time. Isn't it better to sort of empower them to do self-help?
Sir,
Then
this
you go, it's not that you are whatever is a giving time. You come and take from me. Other one is that what you want to tell me. Before I give it. I will spend money. My money is target. I will spend it. So I go and distribute. Other way is that you find their need. That they go for self-help. With many private companies agree for the self-help, not distributing.
Sir, this is true. We have also one project that is called Projects All on One. That is regarding skill development projects. So we are also nowadays entering into these projects for empowering the nearby villagers for developing skills.
Okay. Is sustainability part of CSR?
Yes, sir.
Sustainable development.
Sustainable development also part of CSR.
What about your coal production?
Coal production also.
Are you producing green coal?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100% it is part. Producing coal in with the help of green technologies is a part of CSR.
Okay. Now, tell me, your sample size.
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the sample size? Is not too small?
Sir, I have verified with the formula given by the statisticians, and as per the formula, the requirement is 350, sir. We have taken 500. It is 12.5%, sir. It is very appropriate.
Are you confident that the findings will be robust?
Sir, this is a beginning with regard to impact study. So definitely it is going to be useful. But further future research scope is there, sir.
What is the use of your research?
What is the use of the research?
Research. Sir, this is applicable for assessing the impact. This is very much useful. The methodology which we have used is very much useful for impact assessment studies for future and several other initiatives for other, you can say, coal companies. And
Okay, thanks very much. I think I have asked 40 questions, sir.
No, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It's very educative for us as well, you know, all your insight. Sir, very much, very concerned. I think
Sir, sir.
interesting. We can hear, sir. It's small room. There's no problem. No problem.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Dr. Raj, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the thing is that I will be asking you questions which are basically based on your thesis,
Yes.
and which questions already I have sent to the university. About 6 or 7 questions are there. And the thing is that you do not become, you are now, what is that called? UPITs, there is absolutely no problem.
Yes, yes, sir.
My first question is that, can you come on the objectives, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Sir.
My first question is that whether your objectives are in tune with your hypothesis. You can go to the first objective.
Yes, sir. These are the objectives.
See, your first objective is impact of corporate social responsibility activities of village infrastructure on communities in and around Korba coal fields of Chhattisgarh.
Sir, I can show you the
hypothesis.
Yes. Sir, this is the overall hypothesis.
Yeah. Now
with regard to
overall
impact of the village infrastructure.
one by one you have done, sir, hypothesis.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
But because in your thesis I did not find this. Or you can go to the second object. It's okay, you can go to the second object. Object, not that.
Yes.
Object. Not, sir, object.
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, like S Babu, right? Professor Mandarekar wants to know the mapping or linkage of the objectives with the hypothesis.
Yeah, it is there, but then it is haphazard. It is there. Your objective and your hypothesis are in tune with each other, but then the thing is that it is not right. What doctor is saying, it is right, it is not either. It is not, it is okay, it is nice. I have already evaluated your thesis and it is nice. There is no problem in that. But only your objectives and hypothesis because you are going to become a future PhD guy also after this. So, so that will be helpful to you. The second question is that with respect to the statistical testing of hypothesis, can you elaborate on steps you have taken for validation of hypothesis and to arrive at conclusions?
Sir,
I will make it simple, sir, if you are finding it difficult. Now, you have got a null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Now, with respect to null and alternate hypothesis, you can take any one you can take, and tell me how you have arrived at the conclusion. Any one you can take, as per your this. So in the beginning, I am sorry. I thank Professor O.R.S. Rao, who was instrumental in pushing me to this date. I have come to and the other thing is that I also thank Sway sir and PM Singh sir and Thakur sir, Bhagat sir and Mr. Hariharan sir for and all the faculties who are sitting over here for being with us. I also thank Dr. Rath for being a very good co-evaluator. Continue.
Sir, sir, this is the species output of one day another one.
Yeah.
So in this, null hypothesis is rejected with regard to overall impact.
Yes.
So null
Now,
hypothesis.
sir, in this you have got a null and alternate.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Is it right?
yes, yes.
So out of which one of the hypotheses you are accepting?
Yes, sir.
Is it right?
Yes.
Now, why you have accepted that hypothesis?
Sir, this is
That is my question.
Sir,
And what are the tests you have made in this
sir,
one?
one way ANOVA test.
One way
is
ANOVA
done,
test
sir.
you have
Now p
done.
value is 0 in case of overall impact.
Yes.
Since it is less than level of significance 0.05,
Yes.
we have considered 5% level of significance.
Yes.
So that is why since it is less than p value less than 0.05, null hypothesis is rejected. So resulting we complete village overall in the.
So alternate hypothesis is accepted. Is it right? Sir?
Yes, sir.
It is verified. It's
Exactly.
nice, sir. But the thing is that your presentation is very good. There is no problem. But if you could have done in this way, it would have been much better because your everything is what we call in Marathi gachadi.
Sir, I will.
No, it's okay, sir. It's okay. You are a student. You are still a student. After some time, you will get fine tuned to
Yes.
what you have done. My second question is that this is a question to you personally. See, you have collected and analyzed something diagrammatically, then written also. Then you have also put your photographs in there. I'm not
Sir,
whether it is a self-glorification.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, not
That is okay. I'm just. See, the thing is that photographs I have not seen it. I am a.
Exactly.
It's okay. The thing is that now you will also become you will also do several research projects, and in that projects only one your photograph is required. I do not know why. If it was only for filling up of the pages, then okay, it's okay.
Sorry for that.
There is no need of
guidance. I have some emotional attachment that I have explained during the period of family data collection. I met maybe villages, and these are the memories which will be remaining for quite a long time because if I incorporate these photographs, some of the important people photograph with the thesis, I think this may last for a long time. That is the only lesson. Otherwise, no implementation.
Sir, in fact, as far as this is concerned,
Yes, sir.
possibly like in fact, it was prompted by the university. More than me. I think, I'll also explain because, the university will take a responsibility about it. So what we believe as a university,
It's okay, sir.
I don't know, just a little bit, so why we have done that is, when they are collecting data, the data integrity will give a lot of importance to that. Particularly the social kind of sciences, when you collect so much of the data, In fact, we have seen so many cases, sitting in a room, left hand, right hand, somebody can always, can manufacture the data. We want to have safeguards, adequate safeguards to ensure that there is a good amount of data integrity, particularly when the data is collected as a person-to-person talking. So in fact, this data was not sort of filled up by the respondents. Because considering there are villagers, maybe they went and talked to them. So we want to make sure that, yes, there are adequate safeguards to see that you want to met them. Of course, we respect Mr. S Babu, the general manager. But at the same time, the whatever process we build, it must be applicable to all the people. So in fact, just like laws, whatever the guidelines that you have given, it is to safeguard, the entire research process and the research integrity. So because of that, when we conduct our coursework,
Sir, in that case, you could have also made a photographic some.
Sir,
album.
It's okay, sir. But that is a matter of fact, we also collected the video also. So video maybe cannot correct. So basically, essentially, one aspect is to ensure that there is a data integrity. Number two is, like, in fact, it will be useful not only for him, but somebody else tomorrow when they do that. It is the process of collecting the survey and more so dealing with villages, what are the issues and challenges in facing. Dealing with an educated respondent is different from somebody that is not educated, going deep into the villages and talking to them. In fact, in the entire family, only one could talk, the others could not even talk and understand the question. That's where, in fact, Mr. Babu has put a lot of efforts to see.
Mr. Babu has put a lot, I have mentioned in my report also.
But
you are putting a lot of.
Yeah, in Hindi, and they ask questions in Hindi. In fact, we have no problem. That is the only reason. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, sir.
So it is not that it is not the glorification, but it is a part of the thesis itself. Yeah. Yes.
With respect to your CSR initiatives, can you elaborate on real benefits appropriated by beneficiaries? Anyone village executive.
Sir,
You have done many things. So what are the real benefits appropriated by beneficiaries?
Sir,
Or are there any real benefits?
Exactly, sir. Suppose I can give one example.
Any village?
Yes, Vishrampur is there near the one place, and then Kushmandapur as well. There we have constructed overhead tank with the underground pumping arrangement and
Okay, talking about
pipelines are also laid with the overhead tanks at strategic
Water
places,
pipes,
water lines, underneath one's syntax tank provision. Every tap tank has been provided at every human corner of the village. So with this, the total scenario and the total respect towards SCCR has been improved. But the negative part, what we have observed during my
So the benefits are the people have got water. Real benefits.
Exactly, sir. This is the positive part.
But how many people in that village? For all the village, or only 20%?
For one part of the village.
One part of
One part of the village.
Say about 50% of the village.
Yes, sir.
50% of the village has got the benefit of your CSR scheme.
Exactly, sir.
Now, is there any mismatch between intended benefits and real benefits?
Sir, in my thesis, I already
You have
expressed, because there are initiatives with regard to village initiatives, infrastructure initiatives, as well as
Because some of your CSR benefits the villages itself will not have.
So,
There may be some cases.
exactly, sir. I can tell you one example. Say, pond is to be constructed in a village.
Yes.
So, due to the influence of the sarpanch,
Yes.
without considering any topography or catchment area, because of his own interest, he preferred to have pond nearby to take care of his animals and other requirements. So that is causing hindrance in the entire process regarding need and regarding implementation. So there is mismatch, though it is there, which is not being served to entire society in the village. So some people are being benefited more, some people are not being benefited because of certain hindrances. Facility is there, but it is not being matched because either it is far away or it is not being appropriated due to some other reasons.
So it is my last question. Whether you expect the same type of research output as in this thesis in other coalfields as well as in other sectors. For example, in petroleum refining sector, HPCL also conducts Individual Petroleum Corporation. They have also got this CSR activities. IOCL also has got. Whether
Same output.
Okay, same output this is not as part of the just asking.
Sir, I got it. Sir, the rural masses in our country, the requirement is so huge. There is a gap, there is a huge gap between demand and supply. Whether it is the
My
community
question is
assets,
specific, whether the same research output,
Can be
somebody
applicable.
here
Yes,
who is
sir.
doing PhD,
Sir.
he wants to also do, you have done it over.
Yes, it is.
Cool. Whether if it has in the domain of
Sir.
oil, whether it will be the.
same. It is, yes, I will agree with you, it is applicable in other sectors due to the common social economic profile of the villages. Ultimately, the socio-economic profile in the rural part is almost brand are same. That is maybe applicable. Another part, the requirements in the form of assets, in the form of services may vary, but our methodology and research work can be applicable.
With
It
respect
will
to the
customize.
conditions of the villages, it will remain the same throughout the country. But only with respect to the funding. CSR, basic all India has got large amount of funding. HPCL will not have so much large amount of funding. That can be a major thing.
Yes, sir, yes.
Sir, my questions are over, sir. And thank you very much, Babu sir, for your presentation, hard work. And you have done a good job, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir.
You can also ask questions, sir. In fact, at this rate, you can ask questions, you can ask questions, both of you, you are the most supervisor.
First of all, congratulations for your hard work. You have been with the thesis for a long period of time, secondary and primary data. I was wanting to reply to Dr. Rath's critical questions, which you had. You brought in Milton Friedman, the social responsibility of businesses to increase its profits. So are you looking for profits? Is CSR a kind of gimmick? We also have the other view of Elkington, where he says, talks about like cannibals with folks of the 21st century, the triple bottom line. In coal sector, oil, extractive industries anywhere, we are also looking at the vendor monitoring and supply chain part and telling finally, we need a social product. What was also coming to my mind, that what you raised very critically, that India is the only country which has had 2% mandatory. They are not part of global compact. Global compact and soft laws go together. This is, if you read Arun Mehra and others, they say this is the only country which has had it mandatory. But we have made it part of it. I think it's a wonderful thesis in terms of the empirical findings and the work the coal sector people, particularly like Babu and others, are doing in their areas. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, Dr. Ratsa, K.K. Bhagat, he is a professor, in XISS, Junior Institute of Social Sciences. They have been doing pioneering work in the area of, research in the sort of the various, social services, social service activities, including CSR.
CSR is
they also published some books.
Yeah, major. We did it for
But
Tata.
I come to Ramji, I visit your institute.
Please, that will be a honor.
Wonderful.
Will be a great privilege, sir. Do that, please.
No, that is great. You have been super with that. Any questions, any comments into that?
I definitely appreciate the hard work of my Babu and in today's presentation, the insightful
It's very mature.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Anything like this, sir? Anything like this,
I think he's done a wonderful job. He's very sincere, technically. Very sincere, right heart from the beginning.
And you did it.
Yeah. In fact, from my side, let me say that, I have seen your journey from very close quarters from the beginning. And in fact, there were a lot of mid-course corrections we had to do, starting with, the time started. And so much so that he has made a pre-thesis presentation. That time, in fact, I had to force him to do some extra work.
Yes, that was positive.
In fact, you are also there in that time, because as a PhD scholar, ultimately, he should produce a marvel. He should produce something that, tomorrow he himself should not feel that, oh, if I have done this, it will be 100%. So that's where, as a university, we are very keen that every one of the PhDs should be marked.
In fact, I am finding only one of the vice chancellor who is taking so much deep interest in every
Thank you so much. So because we are very keen that because as an education institution, I believe particularly a university has got two roles. One is having teaching, learning, and research. The other aspect is, creation of the new knowledge and dissemination of that. I believe that there are two halves of the person. Yes. To that extent, I believe that, the university and the BC must take active interest in that.
Yes.
So because of that, even though I'm not his supervisor, anyway connected, like every one of our PhD, I get active involved.
Yes.
And I will deal with that. We critically examine and, at times some of our working people, they will stretch. And sometimes they will trust me. They trust me saying that, "Arey, khatam kar diya, now he's reopening."
Correct.
So we have reopened the chapter. And as a matter of fact, the focused group discussion of strategy,
Yes.
the entire thing was done subsequent to that. And likewise, several other dimensions we have worked to see that ultimately the work that is done is our insightful and meaningful.
Yeah, what sir is saying is right. I have completed 50 PhD students, but many of them they trust me because I know all these things there. What he saying is right.
Sir, ultimately himself is happy that, yes,
Yes,
but for that, I think that like any other student, this is what to point out in our view, what is.
Correct.
So that way has done a
And
great
this,
job.
what he is doing, no coaching is also helpful for academicians. I do not know how many PhD students here are academicians, but for them it is very helpful because they are future guides for the university.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yes, cooperated and yes, ultimately the university also will get a name.
Yes.
It's a very insightful research that is done. Because for all time to come, I keep telling our people that not only for you, for your family, immediate family,
Yes.
your generations together can say that, the children must say that my papa had a great work has done.
Correct.
And his grandsons into that, because that is something it must be there, like it is.
Yes.
It's a great job done.
Great job, congratulations.
Yeah.
How many?
Congratulations, people, after you sign it, after you sign it. Anything else? So, Dr. Ratsa, in fact, while, we could not have the pleasure of, having you in our midst, So, do you recommend that, on the basis of the Viva-Voce presentation that was done, Mr. S Babu is eligible to be awarded the PhD degree? Because we are asking you on phone and we'll also take your document. Because otherwise, the normal course as a part of our process, we have to take your signature before we move forward.
Oh yes, I agree.
Thank you.
I have no problem, I agree, I recommend it. But only I would like to make an observation.
Yes, sir.
That, I have seen many PhD scholars, I have gone to many conferences on subjects, like these also. Usually, the concept of framework becomes weak, usually. So that's the idea that what depends upon what kind of study, what kind of coursework is done. So that is a robust basis for this concept. So that is also observation I thought that for future, a stronger coursework. Perhaps, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Sir, in fact, can you elaborate a little bit, sir? In fact,
I would say maybe a more robust conceptual study is a must. Because that sets the tone and the way for the investigator. So that's something which I would very strongly urge. The robust coursework on the subject must be a binding requirement and some kind of a test before the PhD work begins. But I have nothing to do, no objection to this case.
Yeah.
But for the future, I think every scholar must go to a rigorous, robust coursework about the conceptual and the theoretical paper. then only subscription I take.
Sir, in fact, thank you very much for your observation. Sir, in fact, as you are aware, we have, a semester coursework. In that semester coursework, there we cover, with regard to the research methodologies and some of the tools and techniques. And at a conceptual level or bringing them onto some kind of, on a domain level, at the moment, currently like we are looking at, some of the major, functions. The foundation some 5, 6 disciplines we are doing currently. And I agree with you that if somebody is doing research on CSR, possibly I think, maybe we may have to ask them to do a lot more, fundamental conceptual work on CSR, including a literature survey, reading some books, doing a lot more kind of understanding on the concepts under that. I think that is something that is a good, observation and suggestion. That is something, we will incorporate. So thank you very much, sir, for being part of this and, being, I think, Viva-Voce must be a holiday today. It's a really holiday, you have taken some time off.
Especially for you, I have made myself feel for that other program also.
So nice of you, sir. So, in fact, we are very sorry, sir, for the inconvenience caused to you. Because of certain considerations we could not
for you.
Yeah, we
We
could
are
not.
all from the round for work for you.
Oh, not at all, sir, not at all. It's always a pleasure, sir. Not at all, it's a pleasure. And we are so happy that you have got well-wishers like you and,
Yes.
So Bhagat and also the Mandrekar. In fact, at Mandrekar, he has been traveling a lot. Despite that, like in fact, we found it difficult to coincide some things and, ultimately, we have to do a little bit of squeezing it for both of you, And in fact, we are thankful to both of you. Both of you are drawing in
I
the
have you, sir, Professor Ram, Professor Mandrekar, Professor Mato, Professor Swami, and Dr. Hariharan, and hope to see you soon in Ranchi.
Sure, sir, definitely, sir. Definitely, we will come
Dr.
to
Rao and this is Dr. Mato and Dr. Hariharan are there in Ranchi, so maybe next time I come.
Sir, Dr. Bhagat, sir.
Dr. Bhagat.
Dr. Bhagat, sir.
Bhagat.
Yeah.
K.K. Bhagat.
K.K. Bhagat, sir.
Next time, Dr. Bhagat, next time I come, it will be a pleasure to meet you.
Sure, sir.
It will be a privilege, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day, sir. Great.
Right.
Sir, my request is that you can send, a copy of your Viva-Voce report to us by mail.
I read it.
Yeah. No, sir. Earlier you have said, your assessment of the thesis and you have sent me for the. So we'll
Is there
send
any
you.
format? Is there a format?
They the format for the Viva-Voce presentation and then send it to you and you will fill and send it so that the process is complete. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm free now.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Weekend, sir. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And a happy Diwali.
Thank you. Thank you.
So good. So now we will say congratulations.
Congratulations,
Now we will
Dr.
Sir, now we want to celebrate it.